Hi everyone, welcome to this video on coordinate geometry. To begin with, there's a bit of expected knowledge in this exercise, and so I've written a list of those things right here. So the first one is that you need to know that you can figure out your gradient by doing rise over run, or y2 take y1 over x2 take x1. You need to know that the distance between 2 points can be found using that formula right there, which is essentially Pythagoras' theorem, but applied to 2 different points. You need to know that the midpoint of an interval is just found by taking the average of the x values and the average of the y values. You need to know that you can calculate the equation of a line using either of these two formulas, so y take y1 equals m bracket x take x1, or just y equals mx plus c, whichever you prefer. Personally, I prefer the y take y1 rule, and I'm going to use that in this video. And the last one is that the product of perpendicular gradients is -1. So when we have m1 multiplied by m2, they should equal -1. So I'm going to jump right into these, and I'm going to just work through them all by hand. And then what I'm going to actually do is I'll make another video about how to do this on your calculator, and we can have a look at setting up an e-activity to do that, which will make life much easier. But it is still important to be able to do these questions by hand. So to begin with, we've got 2 points, A at the coordinates -3, 4, and B at coordinates 5, -6. So find the gradient of the line AB. Righto. So firstly, I'm going to use the gradient rule, so m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which in this case is -6 take 4 over 5 take -3. So that worked out to be -10 over 8, which simplifies to -5 on 4. So that's the gradient. I perhaps should do this down the page a bit, but please excuse my dodgy working out there. I should only have one equal sign per line. Just thought it was a nice quick calculation to do. So the distance AB, right, I'm going to work on part B down here. So the distance is equal to the square root, and again I'm going to write the rule out. So x2 take x1 squared plus y2 take y1 squared, which is the square root of, now x2 is 5, x1 is -3. So 5 take -3 squared plus y2 is -6, y1 is 4. So -6 take 4 squared. That's a minus. So this worked out to be, wow, that's something new. This works out to be the square root of 8 squared plus -10 squared, which is the square root of 64 plus 100, which is just the square root of 164. And I could try to simplify that. I'm thinking that 4 is perhaps the highest number that is a perfect square that will go into it. So that is the square root of 4 times 41, which is just 2 root 41. So that is the distance between the 2 points. Okay, part C, find the midpoint. So midpoint is given by the average of the x values, so add the 2 x values together and divide by 2, and then the average of the y values, so again add them together, divided by 2. So that's going to be 5 plus -3 on 2, and -6 plus 4 on 2. Just check that I've got those correct. Yep. Okay, so 5 plus -3 is going to be 2 on 2, which is 1. And -6 plus 4 is -2 on 2, which is going to be -1. That's pretty nice. They worked out to integer values. Alright, part D, find the equation of the line. So y take y1 equals mx take x1. Now y1 in this case was 4 and x1 was -3. It's right there. So, whoops, y take 4 equals m, which we figured out earlier was 5 on 4. Where was that? Right up here. Yeah, -5 on 4. So, -5 on 4 times x minus -3, so x plus 3. I'm going to just expand the brackets out. Like so. And then I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Sorry, that is a 4. So -5 on 4, x. Now minus 15 on 4 plus 4 is going to be plus 16 on 4, which just makes it plus 1 on 4. It's quite nice. So there's the equation of the line. Part E, I need to find the equation of the line parallel to that, but passing through point 4, 2. So this time it has the same gradient. M is still -5 on 4, but this time it's passing through the point, what was it, 4, 2. So we go through exactly the same process. Oops. Y minus y1 equals m, x take x1. So that means y minus 2 equals -5 on 4, x take 4. Expanding the brackets, y take 2 is -5 on 4x. And then just plus 5. And then just need to add 2 to both sides. So y is -5 on 4x plus 7. And there we have it. The last part, part F, is the equation of the line perpendicular to AB passing through the midpoint of AB. So this is really just called the perpendicular bisector. Okay, it just cuts it in half and yeah, it cuts through it perpendicularly. So to do part F, I need to know that when I multiply the two gradients of perpendicular lines, it comes out to be -1. Now I know what my parallel gradient is. So I know that -5 on 4 m2 is -1. So I'm trying to find out what m2 is. That is the the gradient of the perpendicular line. So I'm going to multiply by 4. -5 m2 is -4, and then I'm going to divide by -5. So m2 is 4/5. Okay. So I've got the gradient of the line. I also know that it has to pass through the point 1, -1. And so y minus y1 equals m, x take x1. So that makes y plus 1 equals 4/5. X take 1. Y plus 1 is 4/5 x minus 4/5. And then when we take away 1 on both sides, we get y equals 4/5 x minus 9/5. And we are done. Now, it's quite a long video, going for almost 10 minutes, but we did quite a bit of stuff in there. In the next one, I'm going to show you how to set up the E activity on your calculator, and then we'll hopefully get all of these answers in one go. Anyway, see you then.